good? What is good? How is everybody doing, man? I have not been live on all channels in a while. I am excited. Today we have a few things we're going to be talking about. I actually have a few topics. Now, if you haven't already, man, make sure you guys check me out on all social media platforms, including YouTube. We're live on TikTok. I have not been live on TikTok in a while as well. First, I want to make sure we're good when it comes to audio. Been live on all channels in a while. I am excited. All right, cool. So we're good. We're pretty good on audio for right now. Number one, I have, man, I've had a interesting time creating content recently. I've had like a roadblock, right? And honestly, it has transpired because there's so much to touch on, but it's also so many things that I feel I have to do in real life. I was talking to one of my students the other day, and I was praising him on me seeing the growth that he was just displaying, right? And to be honest, sorry, y'all. To be honest, the growth is I think one of the most important things in general when it comes to hustling. But I also feel like growth can also become stagnant when it becomes when it becomes repetitive, right? So you'll see success in certain areas, and when you keep seeing that same success, it becomes like it becomes boring. It becomes boring. You want to push it, and then you start analyzing others and what others are doing successfully, and you start wondering to yourself why you can't, right? And that's how I've been feeling. Like it's just a lot to do, but also a lot that I feel personally it needs to be done in the right time, right? So I just been keeping my head down and just grinding. So I haven't been live on Hustler Taught Me. I have not been live on YouTube really, but we're gonna be talking about some things today. All right, so we'll be talking about some things, and we'll also get into some different topics that I want to get into, because if you guys don't know, Brandon the Hustler is a channel that I've been dabbling in. I've uploaded a few videos on there. Let me see why I cannot open this, y'all. Hold on. And I want to cover some more different topics and realms. All right, cool. So first, we're going to start with an interesting topic, okay? Now, this topic is going to just be about something I've had to discuss with a bunch of just resellers, and it has to do with replicas. And that's another reason why I've really had a blank when it comes to content, because I'm not somebody that is going to sell out, but I'm also not going to push a narrative that doesn't actually work, right? So as you see on the slide, if you are on YouTube, check me out. Not YouTube. If you're on TikTok, check me out on YouTube, Educated Hustler. I'm rusty, y'all. I'm rusty with all the cameras in my face right now. But stop building your reselling business on products that can shut you down. Now, let's unpack that real quick. Why do you keep building your business with products that technically can shut your business down? A lot of people do this. And it happens to be with reps. And we're talking about rep cologne. We're talking about rep products just in general. AirPods. We're talking about clothing, right? I know there are some people that sell certain clothing items and they're seeing success. But I also see there's some that isn't seeing success, and they're instead getting their eBay's taken down, and then they contact me asking me, hey, could you help me? Well, I do see some Instagram messaging with tones of, hey, I need your advice on this and that. Listen, I can't give advice to everybody that chooses to go the wrong way with their business because they want instant results, right? I'm not here to I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody's ass, and I'm also not here to create anybody's fantasies or dreams or aid anybody in a false reality that they're going to become rich because they're reselling fake shit. Like, that's not going to work, right? I'm also not here to help people believe in themselves. I don't do that, right? So when it comes to eBay or Amazon or any business, I learned the hard way, and I'll explain and share the story, right? I tried to sell fake products in my store once upon a time. It was actually my third store, I believe. I tried to sell a bunch of AirPods. And when I put these AirPods up, it was not me knowing they were fake. I actually got sold these AirPods thinking they were real when they first started coming out with reps. And I put them in my store. Long story short, LPNI, which is I guess you could say it is a state program or state, it's like cops for stores, right? They go into the store and they look for fraudulent products. So these people came into my store and lo and behold, they saw fake products and I got a fine. That was the first time I realized that what I was doing wasn't good and I couldn't sustain a business doing it, right? Now, yes, I was making money. I actually brought these pods for $50. He taxed the hell out of me because I thought they were real. And I was selling them for like $150. And I was making $100 a pop, right? I was making good money, but they ended up getting taken down. And I had to pay a hefty fine. Then I started going on platforms like Mercari and eBay and listing them. And I did not know at the time that this was not right and that you can't do this, right? So I'm listing. And never forget, it was Christmas time. It was around November and they were selling a lot, okay? And I remember seeing a large amount of money in the Mercari balance. And one of my employees said, hey, should we cash out now? And I was like, no, let's wait until tomorrow morning. Because, you know, when you cash out, you have to pay a certain fee. And we got a good amount of money. And it was going to be a 5-digit fee that was going to be taken out. So I was like, nah, let's just wait. We racked up so much money selling these pods. So the next morning I wake up and Mercari has taken my whole listing and restricted my account to the point where we couldn't log in. We were instantly logged out. And contacted Mercari. They told me I had to wait 6 months to get my funds released. And long story short, I never seen all of the profit. So I sent out products without getting the money back that I invested or any profit, technically. Okay, I went in the red, basically. Okay, so I tell you that because, you know, despite that happening, I still continued to try. And I went from Mercari to eBay. eBay was doing pretty well. But long story short, kept getting accounts banned. And I ended up realizing that this is not sustainable. Like, I can't continue to build my business in this way. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I didn't just only do this with pods. I ran into a guy that was selling a fake designer at the time, too. And I'm an experimental person. Like, I was experimenting. I brought some bags and some belts. Yo, I didn't make not even 30% of my money back with the bags. Okay? I couldn't list them online. Kept getting taken down. That's no way to run your business. That's my point. It's no way to run your business. So what we're going to focus on today is how we can become legitimate. And I'm going to try to persuade you not to make these mistakes because these mistakes will haunt you, okay? They will haunt you. Trust me, all right? Now, replica products may sell fast, but they create long-term risks. One bad listing can damage your account, money, and brand. Now, a lot of people don't think about the brand aspect because you don't care about the brand. You put money above the brand, and that's one of the biggest problems with resellers nowadays is that you don't really care about long-term. Everybody has a short-term mindset. You're just worried about making money today. You're not worried about making sure that you can keep the money. You're not worried about making sure the money's residual. Let me tell you something. Anybody out there that's looking to make their side income, main income, or make their hobby a side income, or even just a main income, you got to realize the only way that you actually do create money by yourself to sustain a certain lifestyle or just to put bread in your pocket, you have to have residual income. If you think that you're going to just sell a product to consumers and you're going to be able to be successful and be able to relax and grow, that's not going to happen. Selling products to consumers, it's a good business model, but it's not a scalable one. Nowadays, you need residual, which means you need to get paid over and over again automatically. And I think that, you know, a lot of us, we see this propaganda, and this is why I'm in like a log jam when it comes to content, because I'm trying to figure out how to create the content where it's not promoting to people to make short-term income, but feel or believe you're going to make or have long-term success. I personally have struggled my own way when it comes to reselling. Like, I still do struggle. I have slow times where I'm not making as much as I should be making, or where I'm trying to get myself out of the red because I invest in a large quantity of a product that doesn't sell, right? And when that happens, I automatically know what I need to do. Liquidate. I got to sell these products some way, somehow to somebody, right? But you have to realize if you're just focused on selling to people like me and you, you're going to end up broke. And that's just the truth, right? So that's why, like, I despise of any drop shipping videos or videos where they talk about, hey guys, let me teach you how to sell ebooks and digital products to one person at a time. No, like, you're going to have to start dealing with businesses because businesses have money to actually spend. And hold on, just stick with me, right? There's a lot of people that don't want to hear the truth because a lie sounds more sexy, right? If I tell you right now that I got this product right here, and this product right here, if you sell this product, you're going to make $10,000 every 3 months. You're going to be in. But what if I also forgot to tell you that you're going to have about $9,000 in chargebacks? Well, it won't be worth it because the chargebacks are going to hit your account. You're not going to be able to stop it. And in reality, you're just going to end up losing money. Even though you do have $1,000 profit, you still got to pay for the return payments. That's why I lost my Shopify store. I lost the Shopify store because I was selling reps. And I kept losing the Shopify store because I thought that I could find a loophole and it didn't work. Okay? So stop thinking about short term. Stop worrying about the propaganda that you see online, because you also got to remember the things that we see online are built around clickbait. It's built around grabbing people's attention because everybody has a short attention span. That's something I'm not good at. I'm not good at grabbing people's attention in a short term sense, because I'm not here to say the shit that's going to make you feel like you have a chance. No, because everybody doesn't. Because everybody does not make the correct decisions because they value profit over time. But your time is more valuable. And I want you guys to stick with me. Your time is more valuable than the money that you may make today. Why? Because time is something you can't get. Money you can always recoup. So somebody will be scared and have money trauma and not want to invest in the product because they rather see the money in their account versus spend the money, fail or succeed, and be able to recoup that bread, but still be able to learn from that time they spent selling or trying to sell that product. People don't understand because they're not taught correctly. You're taught to drop ship, buy products you don't actually own, and become a middleman to some Chinese supplier or factory overseas that doesn't have authorization to sell in the United States. And you're doing the dirty work for them, and you're the one getting the chargebacks, not them. Because as a drop shipper, basically what it is you're going to pay for a product to ship, or for that product to be shipped to a customer. The factory is going to take your money. They're going to put that money in their account, but your money is never guaranteed from that customer because that customer can demand a refund. And a lot of people will say, oh, okay, well, if they demand a refund, I'm going to fight that case. Well, if you fight that case, you're going to have a hard time fighting it when you never seen the product in the first place. You never see the product, right? And this is stuff that happens with drop shipping all the time. People fall in love with the fact that I can be lazy and make money. It's bullshit. It's fake. Okay? Now, what counts as a risky replica? Products made to look like a real brand item. So products that have Prada or Apple logos or any type of logo, and you know that it's fake. Now, I was talking to a student, and he wants to sell watches. And we talking about watches. Now, I gave him an assignment, right? And the assignment that I gave him was, hey, I know you're selling this product, but you need to go and try to find another product, right? So I'm telling him that. And he comes back. We have meetings every week. So he comes back and he says, hey, I want to sell Movado watches. So I'm like, you want to sell Movado watches? He said, yeah, I'm intrigued with selling Movado watches. So I'm like, oh, okay. I said, where are you going to get them from? I'm going to look on platforms like AliExpress and Alibaba. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work because they're all going to be fake. And he just didn't understand it. So he might try it, and he's going to fail miserably because You're going to try to sell a watch that isn't real, and the customer is going to, even though you don't price it like it's real, believe it is, and then when they don't had the product meet their expectations, they're going to get their money back. You're going to be fighting with their bank. You're going to lose. Your brand reputation is going to become that brand that's selling bullshit. And now you have to restart all over again, over and over again. And you're going to be hitting me up talking about how do I restart my eBay. Okay. So AirPod style products marketed as AirPods. Items using brand names, logos, serial numbers, or packaging. Now, I do want to make this clear, and I'll clear it up in a second. I'm going to hit this last point. Products designed to make buyers think they are getting the real brand. Now, a product like this, you might be saying, B, this is a replica, right? Let's actually look at this, right? You might be saying this right here is a replica. And I want to explain why it's not a replica and why I sell something like this over another product. And if you can get a product like this, whether it's through WESPLY.com or AliExpress or Alibaba, wherever you seek your suppliers from, you want a box that does not have logos. Why? Because when you get boxes that don't have logos, one, it doesn't create that expectation from that customer. And two, this is not going to flag or get us any chargebacks because we have a bunch of different type of branding that distinguishes it from the real original product, right? We have the ANC sticker right here, which is the active noise cancellation sticker. We also, when we open it, we have a pamphlet that does not have any Apple anything, right? It does look similar to Apple, right? It looks similar, but none of it is saying anything about Apple. Now, this does cross sort of kind of a thin line, I will say, and I'll explain why. Because the product can be a generic product with no branding, but then you list it as AirPods, right? You're still going to be flagged, right? So you have to make sure as a reseller, one thing that you're focused on not doing is trying to manipulate people, okay? Manipulating people is going to be the downfall. I promise you. I promise you. Okay? And that's something I learned. The platform risk. eBay does not allow counterfeit or fake items designed to mislead buyers. Amazon strictly prohibits counterfeit products and can remove listings, hold funds, or remove selling privileges. One violation can kill months of account progress. How many of us have created an account and got flagged and now we're starting back from square one? How many times do you think that you can start back from square one because you trying to make irrational decisions? I got an unpopular opinion. A lot of people don't actually want to be successful. What they want to do is they want to feel successful. A lot of people don't actually want to own businesses. They just want to say that they do. See, I got a really, really unpopular opinion. A lot of people actually don't want success. They just want to feel like they're creating a version of it. And that's really what I'm mainly talking about. Is a lot of us, we put ourselves in situations where we end up hurting ourselves. We do. Hold on, I think that I messed up on this, guys. We end up hurting ourselves. I got this on private. We got to go public. We end up hurting ourselves. We end up putting ourselves in a box, and when we get figured out, we complain. Okay? The money trap. Replicas look profitable up front, but the hidden costs are dangerous. Refunds, chargebacks. What's the difference between a refund and a chargeback? Okay, so the difference between a refund and a chargeback is a refund is something that you issue, but a chargeback is going to be something that the bank demands. So if you've never had a chargeback, the way that works is somebody complains to their bank, and they say, oh man, I want my bread back. Your bank then says, oh, no, you do? Okay, we'll work on getting that for you. So what the bank does is they work on getting that refund back by taking the bread from your account or the account that you use to process payments. Now, I'll give any reseller some information right now that maybe you don't know. If you use Shopify, prime example, and you use platforms for their own POS or their own processing system, Shopify, prime example, has Shopify payments. What drop shippers don't tell you is Shopify Payments is going to easily stop servicing you if you have chargebacks that are hard for you to win. Also, PayPal, they'll end up discarding of you, and you won't be able to have another PayPal account unless you finesse and have to hide your name and stuff. Wix payments won't service you either. eBay payments won't service you. Amazon won't service you. Mercari won't service you. Poshmark won't service you. If you have a bunch of chargebacks, they're not going to want to work with you because that is a huge, huge danger. Okay? So that's just something to look out for. The next thing, you got account suspensions. A lot of people go through account suspensions, You have inventory loss, payment holds, and customer disputes. Now, these are things that are all able to be prevented just by being honest. Okay? The brand problem. You may make a quick sale or make multiple sales. This happens. But customers lose trust fast. See, once you lie to one customer, it's hard to gain that trust back. Very hard to gain trust back from a customer when you've showed them that you have the ability to lie straight to their face. They ain't gonna mess with you. All right? And I'll tell you, like, this is something I had to learn. Like, I personally put myself in positions when I was buying, like, cheap products. I used to buy cheap-ass adapters and cheap-ass cases, headphones. Everything was cheap because I thought, well, if I can cut my costs down and I can maintain a healthy profit, I'll be able to have more money for me. Well, I learned very, very quick that the real win is in making sure your customers are happy so that they come back. Because a lot of the times they won't come back if you piss them off too much or show them that you don't value quality. I'm not in the business of teaching people how to make money just for them to make money. I'm in the business of teaching people how to make money so they can build brands. That's the difference, right? I think a brand is way more valuable than an eBay or an Amazon. I think a brand is way more valuable than a product because once you have a brand, you can sell any products that you want. And sometimes you won't be able to fulfill certain products. Like I have, for example, my distributor, they were short on these. They didn't get any of these into the States this weekend. I get orders for those on a consistent basis. Now what happens, right? If I don't have my supplier fulfilling these for me, what am I to do? Right? I'm stuck because now I don't have the product. Well, this is when, number one, you have to have proper inventory management, but you also got to make sure you have backup plans. And I think that it's important for you to realize that the brand can sometimes speak for you because if they work with me in the past, they'll know, okay, he'll fulfill the order as soon as they come in. I shoot an email to customers. If we are out of stock, I say we're out of stock. I can offer you a refund or I will have it shipped to you expedited by X date, right? But see, people don't trust your brand if you don't give them a reason to, okay? Legal and supplier risks. Now, Apple has reported Apple has tried to sue me. Okay, they have definitely tried to sue me a few times. Okay, Apple has a reporting process for suspected counterfeit or knockoff products. If you want to know why platforms like eBay and Amazon and Mercari and all of these platforms actually end up suspending accounts, well, I'm not sure if you guys know. The reason is because Apple actually has a department that is dedicated just to finding people that are selling fake ass products. Like, Apple has a real life department that looks for resellers selling fake products as Apple. They hold eBay or Amazon or whatever platform is listed on accountable. They don't hold the seller accountable. They hold the platform accountable because the platform is allowing someone the platform to duke or fake a product that can damage Apple's brand. So what I did was I was selling products on Shopify, and this had to be like 2023, and this is when the replica wave was going really well for me. I found replicas that didn't generate a lot of chargebacks. So I created a website and I was selling them. And I made a very good amount of money. And when I made this money, obviously Shopify can see it. At the end of the year, Shopify sent my tax information to the IRS. Well, I got an email from Shopify saying, hey, we can no longer service your store because there is a lawsuit you need to handle with Apple. Who? Who? Apple ain't contact me. So it turned out Apple contacted them. But they were trying to put it on me. Ain't my fault y'all allowed me to sell them. So, and at that time I actually had Apple AirPods as the title. I ended up getting an email from Apple, and they were trying to take some action, and I contacted the proper channels and I got it handled, but still, it's risky. Now the Customs has seized shipments of fake AirPods plenty of times. Now, I want to talk about this. If you're getting products shipped to you from DHL, okay, and DHL, let me see something. I believe DHL, DHL shipping, yeah, DHL, they're a shipping company, okay, but watch this, does not do customs form. So, DHL does process international custom forms. Instead of handing you manual forms to fill out, the company uses online shipping details. Not true. Sometimes you'll realize you're trying to get a package to you or to someone else overseas, only for it to be confiscated by customs. This happened to actually a student of mine this weekend. He was trying to get a product. The supplier's in China. The supplier shipped through DHL. DHL did not do the customs information. Customs held the package, opened the package, found out it was fraudulent items, and confiscated it. This is why you got to know what you're doing. And I know it may not sound big to you guys, but if you're buying products on platforms like AliExpress or like a Alibaba, you need to make sure you're communicating. And you got to make sure the person that you're actually buying from is doing the customs form. Because a customs form, let me see. A custom form is something that needs to be done. It looks similar to this, right? And let's see if I can zoom in. And it's simple. It's just a lot. I don't like this copy. Hold up. It's just a lot, and you got to put a lot of information. DHL does not always have that information. So why am I telling you that? I'm telling you that because, again, a lot of people sell reps and they don't realize that the reps aren't the only problem. Getting it through customs sometimes is. Okay? So better products to source instead. Now, I wanted to give you guys some type of like information when it came to like things that you can sell. But first, let's just talk about like how to sell safe, and let's focus on the process before we focus on the product. Do not use protected brand names so don't use Apple, don't use Samsung, don't use these name brands. Now, again, I'm the biggest hypocrite, and I'm telling you guys right now that I am, because I sell this, I sell Buds 2 Pros, I sell these. Y'all know I sell like adapters. I sell a bunch of products, and these are not cheap looking products. These are products that I actually curated and I had to actually come together and actually get, right? These are real live bud plus headphones, but I get them for cheap. You want to know how cheap I get these? And the packaging is superb, right? Like I sell these online for like $60, right? I get these for like, and I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about on my website. I'm talking about me. I get these for like maybe like $15, $16, right? And that's because I buy a bunch of them, but I get them for really cheap. And I want to talk about that too. And I'm giving you guys a bunch of information, but you gotta understand the person that assumes the most risk actually wins up front, because when you buy a lot of products in bulk, obviously you're assuming a huge risk. So you get discounts because that risk that you're taking obviously can either play out for positive or play out for the worst. So I get it for cheap, but if they get confiscated, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. So like you don't want to, and I'll show you, like you don't want it to have any logos. And even the Buds Plus don't have no logos. No logos on it. None. Very important. I think that a lot of people, again, they half-ass. They're too busy because let's see, we could probably look it up. They're too busy trying to go on platforms like AliExpress. Let's look. Buds. I'm sure they have it. Buds Plus headphones. Let's see. Okay, here's the Bud Pros, but these don't look good. They don't look good. They don't look good at all. Huh. They got the Beats, but they don't look good either. We're looking for these. Okay. Now you won't find every product that I have like on all of these sites, but the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, no, I don't see them. I mean, let's take this for example. These are essentially these, but in a form of replica form. It's these right here. That's what this is. That's what this is, okay? So now I wonder if I could chat with this person. Let's see. Hello. I am looking for some headphones. Let's see if we can get them to message us. Because I'll show you guys how I used to communicate with suppliers. I'll show you guys. And it looks like she's typing, but I don't know if this is really her. Hi, we have good quality used earphones. How much do you need? I need Gen 4 pods. Do they have the logo on them? So we're going to touch back on her real quick, but let's finish this. So I think one of the things, and to wrap this segment up, I just want us to not fall in love with selling fake things. Like, it's just no reason for us to do that. Thank you. I appreciate you. There's no reason for us to do it because I think that as resellers or business owners in general, you got to protect your brand because your brand is all you got. And that's why, guys, what I don't do is I don't sell things. I don't do like, oh, use my affiliate link for DHgate or come to AliExpress and use my link. I'm not doing that shit. You know why? Because if I start accumulating or if I start to intertwine my brand with another brand like DHgate, which is one of the worst websites to buy products off of, I become a puppet, right? They'll send me products, right? And listen, they ask me, they send me emails all the time. They'll send me products for free, and all I gotta do is like review them. But it's sort of kind of like TikTok. and they probably will stop my live for me saying this, but TikTok will send me products, but I don't use the products. Why would I promote the products? And some people will say, well, it's because you'll make money. I think that's the difference between business in an emotional sense and a logical sense, and also money trauma. And I want to break this down because like y'all are looking at somebody that I wasn't handing nothing. Like I had to really start from almost nothing as far as business wise. I didn't have nobody believe in me, or like my mom or any of my family say, "Oh my God, you're going to be a great business owner." Like I literally got the phone with my mom today, and my mom told me, she was like, "Hey, sweetie, I like what you're doing, but you need to make sure that you have health care and that 401k. You need to make sure you're doing this and that." Listen, nobody's gonna believe in you more than you, and you have to make sure that you protect your brand over everything. You can't allow nobody to finesse you out of your spot. And I think that a lot of people get finessed out their spot because they're so focused on making profit, and profit is not king. It's not king when it comes to profit versus brand. Okay, so that's what I meant by, stop selling reps. Okay, now I want to go live and negotiate with this person real quick. I'll check if the gym. So okay, so first let's recap. Right, we're talking to a supplier off of Alibaba, and it says, "Hi, we have good quality used earphones. How many do you need? And are they any specific features you're looking for?" This is not a real supplier right here. This is just a person that's quarterbacking. I said, "I need Gen 4 pods. Do you have the logos on them?" I'll check if the Gen 4 pods have the logos. How many do you need? I can already tell this person, they not what I want. They're like a middleman. Because a real supplier is just going to answer me. Like, I'll show you guys. Because I used to order pods off of here before. So we're going to go and see. How many do you need? Now, okay, so when they ask you how many do you need, this is where if you're on a budget, you got to make a really smart decision. Don't say 4 or 6, right? Even though, of course, at my site, I got to plug myself in, wesply.com, you feel me? You can go ahead and you can get those quantities. But here, if I say 4, they're going to charge me higher than if I was to say 12, obviously. But it's not going to be a good price point. So here, you can do 1, 4, 6, 12. But anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to say I need... I like to do even numbers. I need 16, depending on price. Right? So we're gonna let that sit, and then we're also gonna try to find more. How about that? So let's change this to AirPod Gen 4. Now I don't order pods off of this site, but when I like in 2023, I used to. Now, what you'll see is a lot of suppliers on Alibaba, and this is the only platform other than my site I recommend getting products from, but they take a while, obviously. Hold on. Got it. 16 Gen 4 pods. I'll check the logo pricing for you. Which country would you be shipping to? USA. Be very short and discreet. This is the girl I used to use, bruh. I used to use her. 2024. And she used to hook me up. How do I check her stores? Hey, do you still sell pods? Shipping to USA or anything else you like to custom? No. Are you the supplier? I don't think this is the supplier. I don't want to talk to them. I don't talk to middlemen. Middlemen complicate the process. I only talk to people that actually can make what I want happen. They're not the supplier. We are manufacturing direct supplier based in. Man, this look tough. Now, when you're talking to these people, you want to know something you want to ask? You want to ask them, do you have a USA warehouse? Watch this. Yo, Anna used to be my girl. I remember. I used to buy stuff from them. I remember. So, yes, please. Okay, what'd she say? But not, okay. Okay, so look at how they said they don't have a USA warehouse. You want to know why that's important? Well, it's important because that means shipping is going to take extra long. We don't want that. Okay, so we need to look. We need to look again. And I'm gonna explain why it would take extra long, and also it's gonna be more pricey. Oh, this is tough. Oh, this is a display. I could put that up in the store. They hide these listings so well. They're not allowed to list the fraudulent ones. Most of these are not really going to be. Some of them are going to be AirPods, but you just gotta. AirPod Pro. Headphones. Let's see. Why she keep asking me the same? Is this an AI or something, bro? Is this the lady we're talking to? It is. Let me see something real quick. And this is how it comes to get through customs. But it's not making sense. And you gotta make sure you're not looking at you gotta make sure you're not looking at the ratings. So a lot of people look at this and they're like, oh my god, okay, I'm gonna get this. This is all bullshit. A lot of Alibaba and AliExpress, they have a lot of fake ass reviews. A lot of fake reviews. Yo, what the are you AI? Are you a human? Or no? I said I want to quote. They just keep typing the same thing, so that's why I think that's not real. Let me see something. Do you still have pods? Now I'm trying to get back in. I'm trying to talk to my. What's this? Yeah, see? This is not a real supplier. Usually, I wish Anna would reply. Because usually what happens is they'll send you the pricing immediately. This is not a good example. She's blowing my shit. She's doing a bad job. Look, it says local stock. Let's see. Hey, I need pods. Hey, I need AirPod Gen 4. Oh my god. Yeah, see, we offer top tier 101 replicas. Yeah, we gotta wait. Their local time is 8 a.m., so they probably not in the office yet. Huh. But again, I think I could do a whole video breaking exactly down. Hi, how are you? Breaking exactly down how to actually. Thank you for the like, Shaw. Appreciate you. Exactly how to actually break down exactly what to say to these people. This person's not. They're not at all a supplier. This is like that receptionist that they be answering for customers. Yeah, I think that I'm just catching them at the wrong time. It's 8 a.m. over there. But I think what I'll do is when they do answer, then we'll hop back into that. Where I'll make a video where we're having dialogue with them. I think that's a smart approach. I think that's a smart approach. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Okay. Now, and the other thing I wanted to cover was eBay sales are dying. A lot of people feel like their eBay sales suck. They're not making bread, right? And I'm gonna be honest. Some of you guys, it's definitely not looking good. I've watched and looked at a few stores. You can send me a store. Just send a link to support at wesply.com and I'll check your store out. But what I'll say, eBay sales are not going to just pick up on their own. One thing about eBay is you want to make sure you have positive feedback. One of the best ways to get positive feedback is by making sure you're selling a low ticket item. I tell people this all the time and I keep saying it and reiterating it, but I think people are not paying attention. If you're somebody that is going on eBay and let's say you're trying to sell this, okay? You're trying to sell this little mount thing, okay? You're trying to sell this phone mount ring light. Believe it or not, this phone mount ring light, this whole thing cost me $5. Okay, it cost me $5. I'm trying to sell it for 10. Right? Cool. I'm not gonna get any sales. You hear me? I'm not gonna get no sales. Why? This product needs to be, now let's say for a top selling badge, you need 100 sales in like 10 months, I believe. You need really good feedback as well, obviously, right? If I got this for $5, I probably would need to sell this for $7.50. Have them pay for shipping and just sell this. I wouldn't make a huge profit though. That's okay. You always need to have a product where you're not making a lot of money off rip, and then instead you're banking off of basically paying to get reviews. Businesses do this a lot with Google reviews. and Yelp reviews. Here's another nugget for small business owners. If you're somebody looking to get discovered, the main platform you want to use is not Google. Okay, we all talk about Google profiles. And we can look it up right here because I'll show you more than just tell you. Yelp is one of the most important map things that you want to. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't knock my thing off. Hold on. Let me get this together. Hold on. I knocked the other camera off by mistake. But Yelp is one of the most important. As a matter of fact, I'm not doing that. We're going to do this. Yelp is one of the most important things that you want to actually utilize, guys. Because what Yelp is going to do is Yelp. I'm going to just put this right here. Yelp is going to make sure that you are utilizing Apple. So you know how, like, if you go on to your iPhone and you start asking Siri for directions somewhere, or maybe you're asking Siri a question, hey, where do I find phone repair at, or whatever. So we'll ask, what map does Apple Maps use to find small businesses? Yelp. Okay? A lot of people don't know that. Yelp is one of the most important business listing platforms that you want to put your business on for free. I probably made about 60% of my money being found on Yelp over Google Maps. Okay? Now, obviously, Google Maps is better, which is better. Google Maps or Yelp? Oh, hold on. For businesses. Let's see what it says. For most businesses, Google Maps is better choice because it has far greater visibility. Integrates with Google Search. Now, that's why you want to use Google Maps, because Google Maps is always going to pull up in search, obviously. A lot of people don't use Yelp to search things, right? They use Google. But I want you to look at something real quick, right? Look at the active users. Okay. Obviously, Google Maps has 1+ billion. Yelp has 34.6 million. But let's look at the reviews, because I want you guys to just look at something where it's a discrepancy. So it says 278 for thank you for the like. It says 278 for Google. But then it says, as far as reviews, 244 for Yelp. Well, why is Yelp so close in reviews, but not close at all in active users? Look at it. It says 1+ billion monthly active users for Google, but only 34.6 for Yelp. It's a huge discrepancy. But this, when it comes to reviews, is way closer. Why? Well, the reason is because people are still using Yelp to find other businesses. What does that mean? That means that you should be on Yelp as well, okay? If you're somebody that is not paying attention to Yelp, I don't care if you're a phone repair shop, I don't care if you're selling socks, I'm telling you, get on Yelp. I'm telling you, all right? All right, let's get on to this. So, older reselling strategies are not working, okay, like they used to. Buyers are more careful with their money. eBay is pushing trust, fast shipping, better listings, and stronger selling accounts. Random products with weak titles and bad photos will not carry your store anymore. Resellers need to stop listing anything and start listing with a plan. So, What that means is if you're going to try to start actually selling on eBay, list products that are going to actually help your store. Low ticket items that you're going to be able to make higher profit margins off of. That's what that means. What resellers need to fix, right? You want to improve product photos. Now, this is subjective. I feel like product photos are they're based on what you feel, right? Like, oh, well, I like when my box is showing, or I like not putting a box, or I feel like just opening the pods makes it look better. Like, it's all subjective. But I will say this: the product photos, which this is not going to be a hey how to list video, the product photos are important and could be the difference between you getting a listing taken down or having it stay up. Check out my listing tip video that's already out on my YouTube Educated Hustler. Now you want to use stronger SEO titles. Now this is something that I feel like it is important, but it's not as important because you can copy titles from other listings and still be straight. As long as it's not just a generic title that doesn't make sense, you're fine. Price products based on market demand. This is subjective as well. I tried to list those squishy dumplings. Now I am proud to announce I have seen a tick in squishy dumpling sales. Now the new trend, and I mean y'all could listen. Visit me back in like a month, okay? And you'll see. Ready? Watch this. Squishy. I don't know what it's called. Squishy butter stick. This is the new trending product. Facts. 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 These cost like $1. $1. These are squishy butter toys. Facts. This is going to be a trending product. If you don't believe me, I want you to wait. And I want you to come and tell me I'm wrong in 4 weeks. Come and tell me I'm wrong. Squishy butter sticks. That's insane. But I'm not falling for it this time. I'm cool. I'm good. I ain't buying it. I'm good. I'll wait. I'll wait until I see them flying out the show. I'm good. Add better descriptions off the fasting handling time when possible. Build feedback before trying to scale. Stop copying bad listings. Track what is actually selling, not what looks cool. Okay, very important. Okay, you want to source products with proven demand, headphones, chargers, things of that nature. If you're in a different type of niche, look at what other people are selling, and also use Google Trends. Focus on repeatable products. So focus on products that you know, like a repeatable product that I personally have never stopped selling is going to be adapters. Type-C adapters, USB adapters. They're always selling. Now, test small before buying heavy, which means buy small quantities before you go ahead and try to buy a bunch of product that doesn't actually result in anything. You want to use promoter listings wisely, build multiple sales channels, eBay, Mercari, Facebook, OfferUp. And lastly, but most importantly, local sales. Local sales matter. You want to treat eBay like a business, not like a quick flip app. Okay? It's not that. All right? Very important. Very important. Okay? All right. So, now that that's talked about, I think that I really want to just hit on the fact that maybe your eBay sales aren't slow. Maybe your account just ain't set up correctly. Okay? Maybe you're just trying to sell the wrong products because you're buying the wrong shit because you're thinking that just because you see something sell online that it's going to actually sell for you, and that ain't always the case. That's not always the case. 9 times out of 10, if somebody's making a video telling you something is selling, make sure they're showing you how or why it's selling. A lot of people don't show you that. And then you start believing that, oh my God, I'm going to be able to do whoop-de-whoop and sell and make $1 billion. No, you're not, bro. That's not how it works. Don't work like that. It do not work like that. All right? I think that one of my biggest things on my scale of what to sell and what not, it got to be something that's going to make bread. It got to be something that I know for a fact people need. they need me for it. Because if they need me for it, I become somebody in demand. If I become in demand, then I know for a fact that they need me. If they need me, then, and I'll give you an example. Chargers, right? I could sell a 20-piece pack of USB to Lightning to a hospital. Just 20 pieces. It's not even enough for one floor, right? But if I sell that to them for maybe 75 cents per charger, and they like it, it works, I could then shoot them an email. Hey, I'll beat any competitive price. Send me the invoice of your current charger supplier. I'll beat the price. They send it to me. I beat the price. Now I got a 500-piece order. It's more about understanding what people need and learning how to become competitive, have competitive pricing, which goes into not being scared to invest. Because if I don't have a bunch of chargers, I can't sell them, right? I think that's really important. And that brings me into my next topic. My next topic is going to be something like this, or it's going to be this. I'm rusty, y'all. So, I mean, bear with me. Money trauma is real. I want to talk to everybody about money fucking trauma, okay? Money trauma is when you're scared to invest, flip, use money. The reason you're scared is because and I know we all been through this. Have you ever got a check, right? Let's say you've been dead broke. Let's say you had $200 in your account. And then you get a job, and now your job pays you $1,500. And then you see on payday, you wake up, and now you got $1,700 in your account. But you just only had $200. And you like, oh my God, I'm never going back to $200. That'd be the thought, right? I'm never going back to $200. I got that $1,500. I'm good, right? So then you like, all right, I got to work another 2 weeks. I'm going to get another $1,500. But then something happens weird. You want to know what happens? Bills come. You get some bills. And then you like, fuck. Now I don't got $1,500 now. I just had to pay rent. Rent was $1,200. Damn it. So you paid rent. And then you like, all right, I gotta stock the crib with some groceries. So let's say you spend $300, right? Now it's like, wait. I just got paid. Now I'm back to $200. Money trauma. Money trauma. I think a distributor just answered this. Hold on. Let me see if it's another supplier. Yep, it is. Let's see. Oh, let's see if this is a real supplier, y'all. Money trauma is real, though. All right, let's see the video. So I'm going to tell you what I like here and what I don't. Number one, I don't like that this is a replica. I do not recommend selling reps. I want to make that clear. No. But I want to show you what to look out for. This right here, for some reason, they don't allow you to make it, like you can't zoom in. But the problem here is when you see these, they all have the same serial number. They all have the same serial number. Usually the serial number does work. The U.S. warehouses start being the norm after the tariff situation. Yeah, good point. What's up, Passive? How are you? U.S. warehouses, yes, they. So what happens, right? Is so having a warehouse isn't new. It's not new. It's not unique. It happens. What it is you get a warehouse in the U.S. You pay that rent or whatever. You store all of the products. You just ship them all to the U.S. And then whenever you get people to buy, ship it from there. The problem, though, is a lot of these warehouses get raided and they have a bunch of foreigners. And the foreigners are undocumented. And you already know how that goes with Trump and everything. So that's where the problem is. Passive. The problem is that the warehouses are not the issue, the staff is. That's where these suppliers are having issues. But we're going to ask them, let's ask them, do you have a U.S. warehouse? Sometimes they say yes and lie. Sometimes they say yes and this is the truth. I don't like the serial number aspect because I know for a fact it's the same. Let's see. Now, I want to make this clear. First time in like 2023 when I got my reps and I was solely selling from an Alibaba supplier, it always would make it through custom because they do put them in this packaging. Problem is, yes, see? Yep, they're going to say yes. So, yes. Now, I believe this yep, it says local stock. Perfect. I need Gen 4 pods. 16. I just want to show y'all my dialogue and how I talk. You ready? Jay, 1 second. 16 piece, but wait, will be my first order. I am looking to test and then order more. I need A and C for, watch this, your best price. And how fast can it get to me? Now I want to point out what I'm saying, but first I want to answer Jay's question. I followed your videos to make another account on Mercari. Had my relative make an account on his phone and waited a week before logging in and listing. Listed 2 shoes last night and closed. What could I have done wrong? The address? No, Jay. Well, it could have been the address or it could have been the fact that you logged in on your phone. Did you log in on the same phone that you had the previous Mercari on? Now, I want to highlight what I'm saying to this person. You ready? I said, perfect. I need Gen 4. Let them know exactly what you need. Next, let them know the quantity. Now, if you're going to order products from a place like Alibaba or even AliExpress, you need to order multiple. The problem in this, the risk, is none of them sell because they're reps, right? They're not clones. They don't sell clones. They sell the ones with the logo. Yeah, that's how I thought. 6. Now, first, let's give her a hand clap. Why? Because I want to show you the contrast between this fraudulent ass lady or bot. She still ain't send me a goddamn quote. But this person did. Okay? This is what they usually do. A real supplier. So not on the phone, Jay. A real supplier is going to just send you the price. But let's break down this pricing. I don't know about this pricing yet. Let's break this down. All right. So 269 divided by 14. No, 16. $16.81. So I'm gonna proceed like I'm really trying to do it. You ready? Okay. Does that include shipping? Wait. Okay. So now let's say we want to do this deal. You ready? This is how you calculate it. So you logged into Google. Was that on the phone, Jay, or no? Or was it on a computer? And also, when you say address, did y'all use the same exact address? Because you don't use the same address, you use the relative's address. All right, so $16.81. Okay, that's. I don't think that's a good price, but not for 16. Profit margin calculator. Look, cost $16.81. We can go to eBay. All right. AirPod Gen 4. We can go here, all the way down. Today is the 20th. We have 40, 45, 78. Let's just say 78. It's going to be our rev. 68% profit margin. We make $61.19. Okay. I mean, $61. I think I said that. $61.19. All right. So, theoretically, 61 times 16, that's $976. The problem, though, is what would the quality actually be? Now, I think that if I didn't have nowhere to source, I don't think this would be a bad deal. But 16 is high. And I'm going to explain, guys. I don't want to dox myself, but I will say, when you buy a bunch of like product, like I've never paid. You know how I said I used to get pods from here? The most I paid on Alibaba for pods, we're talking about reps, was $14. The clones that I get right now, I'm not gonna tell you the exact amount, but what I will tell you, it's nowhere near that amount. Like nowhere near. Like more than $7 less. But that's because quantity. I don't know. This is how straightforward it is. Okay. How do I pay? Do the boxes. Oh no. I didn't want to do that. Alright, let me see. It was the same phone, but not the app. I did the Google Incognito. You had said that may work. It worked for me before, so I'm thinking it was possibly that. Yes, the same phone that I had. Oh, okay. It may have been the address, but it could be something you can clear. Next time, so did they not have a phone they can at least? Yeah, see, they all the same. This is what's gonna screw you. This is what's gonna screw you when you sell reps. The serial numbers are all identical every single time because you got people that do this. How to spot replica AirPods. To stop replica AirPods from repeatedly connecting to your device. No. How to spot. I said stop. Spot. See? Told you. Boom. Boom. Straight out the rip. Now, let's make this clear. Let's say me and you, we go on eBay and we're just trying to buy some reps, right? And let's say we're trying to buy these reps and no, we're just trying to buy AirPods, but we end up buying reps. This is the first thing I'm gonna type in: how to spot reps, and then this is gonna say verify the serial number. So that's why everybody gets caught up and gets chargebacks, because it's easy now. It wasn't in 2023 or 2024 to like, it was still where they can verify, but they weren't doing it. Now it's too hot. That's why I tell you, be careful when you are doing this, because honestly, she's being honest, which I do like. Do you have the AirPods with no logo on the box? I'm on type, girl. What else should we check? Maybe we dang, why is she taking forever? I don't know. She gotta go ask the boss. Because if they do, it should be cheaper. It needs to be shipped from the Chinese warehouse. You want to know why? Because it would be a custom order that they probably can't fulfill in the U.S. I don't know, y'all. All right. I'm gonna have to have a friend try it next. They already verified their profile. What's the safest way to log in where I'm from? Yeah, I do PC. I would 100% do PC, but you don't have a laptop? So what it is when you're logging onto these platforms, they're taking your phone IP address. Mainly they're taking the IP address. That's what they're doing. I did have another one. How to scale a reselling business. But we'll do that tomorrow. But I just want to finish this money trauma aspect, because a lot of people, they're going to skip past this. They're not going to pay it no mind. But a real person that's going to succeed is going to pay this mind. I'm telling you right now, if you keep being scared to spend money, you're never going to make money. If you keep looking up how to make money without spending money, you're never going to make money. You keep trying to drop ship, you're never going to make money. You keep trying to buy products that are cheap as hell, expecting high quality results, you're never going to make money. You keep being scared to see money come out of your account, you're never going to make money. The reason is because money is never meant to sit in your account. Money is not meant to stay in your account. And before I get off, I'm just going to give you guys a really good example. If you have your own phone store, your own store, whatever, right? Nobody coming into your store. Nobody's coming in. All right. You watch people pass. You have a store on a busy street. You watch people pass your store every single day. They just walk past it like it doesn't exist. You have 2 reps in the store that you're paying. You're paying them hourly. You watch them every single day sit in the store, twiddle their thumbs, and be on their phone. You eventually have to say to yourself, how the hell am I going to get people to come in if nobody is paying this any mind? What do you guys think you should do? Tell your reps to get the hell out of that store, go on the pavement, and recruit people to come up in there, right? Same thing with your money. You're not going to make no bread if you keep allowing your money just to sit back and stay in your account so you can stack. If you feel like you're stacking your bread, you are already exhibiting money trauma, because stacking money doesn't exist, because there's always going to be a bill, emergency, or just some type of expense, unexpected, that is going to take the money out of your account, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, you must be drunk. Keem the drunk. Yeah, I could see. I could see. Keem the drunk said something very stupid, because, I mean, I can't say you said something stupid, because you actually did say something true. I got to give it to you. See, I'm one of them people. I'm very objective, even to myself. I keep shit 100, right? And Keem the Drunk said something really interesting. I was about to try to fire back at you, but you actually said something interesting. You said keep selling knockoffs or knockoff items. You're never gonna make money. I think that Keem the Drunk, if me and you were to get in a room, right, and you show me your business portfolio and I show you mine, we could learn a lot from each other. Now let me explain, because I'm sure you have something going on for yourself just as much as I would hope to continue to have things going on for me. Um, I sell products that are generic, not knockoffs. There's two different things, but I do think that there is a good. I think that no, I'm. I think that there's a good point of saying that though. I'm gonna say this. I think that Keem the Drunk, which is that's a crazy ass name, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's a crazy ass name. But I think that if you do keep selling knockoffs, you are not gonna make money in the long run. You're not, because I'll give you an example. Keem the Drunk, do you consider this to be a knockoff? Because that's the difference. Is that a knockoff, or is a product that is portraying to be a different type of product than knockoff? I think people get the, and this is a good point. People get generic mixed with knockoff all the time. So there was one point where I went to a warehouse that was selling On products, and ONN is Walmart's brand. So I went to this warehouse, and I'm talking to this guy, and he was explaining to me the concept of On, and how they are capitalizing off of copying other products basically and slapping their logo on it. He says that good. So you made my point, Keem the Drunk. You're wrong. You said this is a knockoff, and that's where I think that you have to learn a little more. You have to do a little bit more research, especially when it comes to merchandise, because a knockoff is something that is subjective depending on a person and where they're from and how they buy products. Some people think, well, if I'll show you this, if this DJI mic was unbranded, it would be considered a knockoff, right? Now, bear with me with this example. If this DJI mic wasn't DJI but made by another person, but didn't have the logo on it, didn't have any of the logo, didn't have any of the packaging, you would consider this to be a knockoff, and you're wrong. Because if that's the case, then Walmart, Target, Home Depot, IKEA, all of these places, they would be selling knockoffs, and you're wrong. Knockoffs actually make you more money than branded products, because they're targeting certain audiences that can't afford, and also businesses that don't want to pay for certain products. So I'll give you an example, Keem the Drunk. Cases, phone cases, phone chargers. Like, it's not really a slippery slope. It's just not a slope at all. It's not smart. It's not a smart example. Like, the verbiage is wrong. I think you literally mean one-on-one, which means you're portraying to be a certain product, because then you would consider this to be a knockoff. It's not. This is just a cable. It's generic. It's OEM. It's AAA quality, but it's not Apple. This is not a knockoff. And major store brands, or major brands in general, they take the same product that's in another packaging, or in a Apple or Samsung packaging, and they put it in their own, and then they sell it. I get it. Amazon, Walmart, big retailers, all their products are found on Alibaba. No, I think yeah, you're right. You're right. They're not getting their products from Alibaba, but they can be found to again. Let's make this clear, right, Keem? There's no product that nobody cannot get. Like you can get your hand on any product. A DJI Pocket 3 or a Canon camera, you can get that product from Alibaba or AliExpress. You can get any product for the most part off of a website. Because that's why the US frowns upon China, because what China does is they take any product and they duplicate it and then they just try to copy it and just like NVIDIA chips, prime example. We just closed a deal to sell a certain amount of NVIDIA chips to China. Problem is, a bunch of presidents did not allow that to happen because they're afraid that China is going to rip apart the chips and just copy. Same thing with drones. So, knockoffs aren't the problem. It's all about how you're selling them, that is. Anybody can take any product. Like I could take this product and I can put my brand. I could put the Connect right here. And it would be my product. I can get a case or cases, TPU cases, OtterBox style cases, put my brand on it and just sell it as a regular case. It's not a knockoff. The knockoff is when you're trying to sell it as it is another product. That is what a knockoff is. Okay? It's very important. It's very important to understand the difference between knockoffs. But that's a good point, Keem. That's a good point. That was a good point. Because there are a lot of people that do think selling knockoffs, and what I mean is selling like legitimate products as they are something else, is like going to make them rich. That's like the most stupid, dumb, ignorant, despicable thing to do. Like I'm saying, I've seen people try to build their brand literally off of fake shit. And not even try to repackage it. And that's where it's like, bro, you just gonna fail. You just gonna fail, bro. And a lot of the times, y'all, and this is where I honestly gotta get better with myself. I find myself trying to talk people out of doing it, and they do it anyway because that's the type of person they are. I used to be that type of person. I used to be the type of person, bro, I'm about this bread. I'm trying to get this bread. But it's like, you start realizing, Keem, like you're saying, eventually, people will walk into your store that's secret shoppers. Once you get big enough, you get a spotlight on you. They'll walk into your store, they'll find a fake product, they'll buy it from you, they'll report you. You'll get reported, then you got to pay $5,000 for a fine. Or you'll go ahead on eBay or Mercari or whatever, and then they'll take your money and they'll suspend your account. Or let's say you're like, oh, Brandon, I don't got to worry about that. I got a Shopify or I got a Wix website or a GoDaddy website or whatever, right? Well, platforms like Apple have departments in their fraud department that specialize in just scrubbing the web for fake fraudulent items. You'll pop up once you reach a good amount of sales, and then they will sue you. That's just it. That's how it works. You know what I mean? It's like you can't knock off a Nike shoe, right? Like you can't go on AliExpress. They got Nike shoes, they got Prada shoes, they got all those shoes. I know a cleaner in Philly, right? It's a guy. He owns a cleaning shop, and he sells fake ass shirts. And me and my friend were laughing because he came into my store one time. He's like, "Yeah, man, come into my store. I got these fake shirts." Da da da. Right? They looked horrible, but he had a legitimate business. So we were like, "How the hell are you selling these in here and not getting caught?" And he's like, "Well, whenever LPNI comes in, I act like these are shirts I'm cleaning." And it's like, that's hilarious. But those type of people, all right, they outsmarting the system, I guess. But then somebody on the outside would look and be like, "Oh, I can do that. I can do that too." Bro, you can't because you don't have a cleaning fucking business. Like, bro, just because you see somebody else doing it don't mean you gotta do it. And that's where I think, like, I've been having a content block, to be honest, because it's like, bro, I'm not about to keep regurgitating the same videos and the same information for people. And it's not everybody, but for people that want to believe fast money is the way. Like, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. You know what I mean? And I'm not even. I think that I'm just not a part of that hype, right? I'm not a part of the drop shipping wave or uh, the let's sell fake cologne wave. That's stupid. You're selling fake cologne. Loopholes are great. Yeah, they are. They are great. But people got to realize every loophole still needs the right person to do it. You know? Um, you got kids in high school trying to sell fake stuff and they don't even have like their own anything. Like they're literally just spending money that they don't even have to spend on fake stuff, and then when they get fake cologne is very dangerous. When they get fraud and lawsuits sent to them, then they're crying to their mom. It's insane. But I think that the internet allows you to be whoever you want to be. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But Keem, it was good talking to you, man. I think that you definitely have some good points, and I appreciate you for your dialogue for sure. But yeah, y'all, I'm about to get off. Thank you to everybody that has watched, man. Like the video if you can. I really would appreciate it. And I plan on being back on tomorrow, all channels, and I'll be talking more so about how we can actually scale with reselling. I'll try to bring some more products on, and I want to also just, if you guys enjoy watching me negotiate with these suppliers, I'll negotiate and give you guys some tips on how to make sure that you're finding U.S. warehouses where you can actually get these products. But one thing I won't condone, and I'm not gonna lie, I won't condone or sell any dreams. I won't sell any dreams on like buying reps. I don't agree with buying reps. I just don't agree. Uh yeah, you can contact me. Educated Hustler on Instagram. Uh um you can even contact me on my email. Um Brandon at wespoy.com, support at wespoy.com. I have a lot of ways to contact me. Just comment. I'll drop my email down. I got you. But yeah, I'm here for y'all no matter what. If you guys need me, and I appreciate you guys. I really do. All right, y'all. I'm about to get off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.